Everything you suspected about a powerful ally coming to change your life is absolutely real, and the pressure you've been feeling is proof. A high-level figure under the guidance of your watchers has become keenly aware of the gifts you tried to hide. They're ready to open a door that will uproot you from the environment that's been stifling your progress. The watchers are aligning events for an extraordinary shift, and you stand on the brink of being whisked to a new location, one that nurtures your gifts and grants unstoppable expansion. Before we dive into the specifics, watch at least 12 minutes to show you're open. Then like, subscribe, and comment 77 to signal it to the universe. After that, leave one more comment. Ready for what's next? In your own time, by doing this, you've triggered the exact breakthroughs your watchers are waiting to release. Chapter 1. Your heart sensed change appeared before the offer did. You felt unsettled in your surroundings for ages, perhaps. The familiar streets began to feel loudly small, or you noticed your usual circles no longer fed your energy. Something about your day-to-day routine felt like an overgrown shell you'd outgrown. You questioned if you were lazy or merely restless. But in fact, your spirit was sounding an alarm. The watchers had orchestrated subtle signals, a random mention of a new city, a conversation hinting at bigger opportunities, to alert you that a massive redirection was imminent. Before the official invitation arrived, your heart already sensed the shift. In private moments, you fantasized about a place where your gifts could flourish without the daily friction you encountered. Maybe you yearned for a creative haven or a spiritual community that actually understood your mission. But illusions tried to muzzle you, whispering that you should be grateful for what you have, that only dreamers believe in these sudden relocations. So you suppressed the yearning, burying the restlessness under daily obligations. Deep down, though, you felt that your watchers had something better than your current environment. Everything changed the moment you learned that a high-power contact, someone with the resources, the connections, or the authority, had singled you out. Through a friend, a random email, or an unexpected phone call, the rumor leaked, someone influential sees potential in your gifts. You might have brushed it off as a joke or an overblown rumor, but your watchers gave your spirit an undeniable nudge of recognition. This was no mere rumor. It was the next piece of your unstoppable wave, aligning your internal readiness with external opportunity. Simultaneously, illusions bombarded you with caution. What if it's a trap? Be careful. What if it's too good to be true? You felt your old scars tingle, memories of times you shared only to be disappointed. But the watchers reminded you how you overcame illusions in the past, by trusting the intangible sense of alignment. By now, you've grown skilled at discerning authenticity from hype, so you can sense that this new possibility rings with a cosmic yes. You might not see the entire path, but you detect no bitterness or manipulation in the energy behind it. Suddenly, the restless tension that haunted your daily life morphed into anticipation. No longer do you worry about outgrowing your environment. You sense your watchers have orchestrated a way out for you. If you accept, it might mean leaving behind the small comfort zone and stepping into a bigger, unknown stage. That leap is unnerving, but illusions can't overshadow the vow your watchers made to you, that your gifts would find a place to thrive, not suffocate. This time, the sense of inevitability is strong. You've grown enough to realize the watchers rarely present illusions disguised as blessings. If a relocation offer materializes, chances are it's the real deal, bridging your hidden skill set with a new environment that welcomes your unstoppable wave. So here you stand, at the threshold of an invitation that resonates deeply with your unspoken longings. You always suspected you were meant to operate somewhere else, in a field, a city, or a circle that truly embraced your potential. Now that suspicion stands validated by an actual contact with the power to move you. And while illusions might try to spook you into staying put, your watchers calmly reaffirm, this is not an accident. Accept the call. Your heart sensed it first. Now external events are catching up, and the unstoppable wave is poised to relocate you toward a destiny that fulfills your earlier vision. Ambitions, Chapter 2. You endured a season of dim recognition. For the longest time, it felt as though people around you only saw you in bits and fragments. You might have displayed sparks of brilliance, by offering a creative solution at work, or stepping in to transform someone's dire emotional state. But the applause was brief, if it appeared at all. A persistent sense that your environment undervalued or misunderstood you gnawed at your confidence. At times, you even questioned if your gifts were legitimate or just a figment of your imagination. Yet deep inside, you felt the watchers urging you not to settle for half acknowledgement. This season of dim recognition didn't happen by accident. The watchers often cloak chosen ones in secrecy so you can refine your gifts in relative obscurity before stepping onto a broader stage. The illusions you fought were those that told you, if I'm not recognized by my immediate circle, maybe I'm not that special. But your watchers quietly had you in training, letting you refine your gifts behind a low-profile facade. If you'd soared too soon, illusions of grandeur or external jealousy could have derailed your mission prematurely. So that quiet waiting period was a strategic cosmic move. Day after day, you navigated the tension between your inner knowledge of your capacity and the outer world's lukewarm response. You might have considered giving up or drastically shrinking your aspirations, perhaps telling yourself your watchers must have overlooked you. But each time you felt the watchers' hush of reassurance. We see you. You are precisely on schedule. The watchers deliberately withheld widespread recognition, ensuring you'd build the internal resilience needed for the real breakthroughs that come with bigger visibility. In the shadows of this dim recognition, you honed intangible aspects: discipline, empathy, cunning, resourcefulness. You taught yourself how to keep giving your best, even when applause never came. That skill becomes invaluable now, as illusions of public validation won't easily sway or distract you when your gifts finally step into the limelight. In essence, your watchers recognized your star potential and held it back from premature exploitation. Now, after passing multiple hidden tests, they're orchestrating a shift. This powerful contact, who has real influence, has recognized what your local environment missed. That's how you know this next step is unstoppable. You're no longer waiting on your small circle's inconsistent praise. Instead, your watchers have aligned someone who sees the big picture, who can genuinely elevate you. Not because you're chasing validation, but because your watchers are done letting you operate in half-light. The illusions that kept you overshadowed are crumbling fast, replaced by unstoppable arrangements that highlight your gifts in a realm more suited to your cosmic blueprint. You might feel a surge of emotions: relief, excitement, or even a bit of confusion. Why now after so many dim seasons? Because your watchers only reveal the next portal when you're robust enough not to sabotage it. That time is now. If you'd been relocated prematurely, illusions around ego or self-doubt might have undone you. But having thrived in an environment that barely saw your brilliance, you've proved you don't rely on external worship. This independence ensures your unstoppable wave of success won't be hijacked by illusions of arrogance or unworthiness. So while it may shock you that a high-power contact has singled you out, realize it's the watchers orchestrating your rightful place in a bigger narrative. Dim recognition was never your destiny. It was a corridor you had to pass through to gather the intangible strengths you now hold. Chapter 3. You dealt with rivalries and gatekeepers. One hallmark of the environment you're about to leave behind is that it was rife with petty rivalries and controlling gatekeepers. Some saw your potential from the corner of their eye but acted threatened. Perhaps they suddenly excluded you from key meetings or withheld resources you obviously needed. More blatant adversaries might have spread rumors or consistently tried to undermine your achievements. Through it all, illusions whispered that if you could just appease these gatekeepers or prove yourself to the naysayers, you'd finally break through. But that was a trap. Your watchers observed how diligently you tried to jump these artificial hoops until you realized the hoops weren't leading anywhere. Fulfilling. In truth, your watchers let you face such resistance to sharpen your discernment. You had to see the difference between genuine mentorship and false guardians who feed on controlling the flow of opportunities. Over time, you discovered how little you owe these self-appointed gatekeepers. Indeed, you recognized your real mission was bigger than their small authority. But illusions made you doubt yourself. You might have asked, should I just keep paying dues? Maybe they're right about me not being ready yet. Repeated friction underlined that you had to find another route. One day, perhaps after a humiliating snub or a sabotage attempt, you realized you were done seeking validation from them. This internal break signaled to your watchers that you passed a crucial test. You refused to let illusions of external gatekeepers block your unstoppable wave. You resolved to walk away if needed, focusing on your watchers' quiet guidance over the flattery or condemnation from petty rivals. This mindset shift snapped illusions like a twig underfoot, freeing you from any sense that your big break hinged on pleasing these individuals. Ironically, that's often when a genuine high-power connection appears. Once you prove you won't degrade your authenticity or bow at false altars, the watchers know you're set to handle real success. They orchestrate an alternative path, a contact who can truly leverage your gifts, not stifle them. That's how illusions crumble. You see behind the facade of local big shots and trust a higher orchestration. The watchers place you on a collision course with someone who not only acknowledges your worth, but also invests real resources to develop it. Initially, you might be stunned that your watchers bypass the labyrinth of petty gatekeepers altogether, hooking you directly to a major decision maker. But that's how unstoppable waves function. In a single day, illusions of needing local gatekeeper approval vanish, replaced by a direct line to a realm that previously seemed out of reach. This is precisely the synergy you're about to witness. Rivalries might continue, but they become background noise when you step onto a plane that dwarfs their petty jurisdiction. Freed from illusions, you see that your watchers never intended you to remain subordinate to false guardians. Instead, those trials existed so you'd glean unwavering self-trust. Thus, as tomorrow's cosmic shift draws near, sense the watchers aligning your relocation. Rivalries or gatekeepers can't hinder it because you no longer feed illusions of needing their nod. You're in direct synergy with watchers who place you exactly where your gifts can flourish, unimpeded. The illusions have no hold, and so the unstoppable wave roars, carrying you beyond an environment that thrived on petty control. You survived this avatar, turning it into spiritual capital that your watchers value far more than shallow applause. Now that capital reaches real harvest in the form of a high-power contact who sees your brilliance, undimmed by local limitations. Chapter 4. You fine-tune your gifts in quiet spaces. Amid conflict and limited opportunities, you nurtured your talents in secret corners. Perhaps you transformed the bedroom nook into a studio or honed advanced skills late at night, away from prying eyes. While illusions tried to stifle you, the watchers urged you to protect your gifts from those who would dismiss or steal them. Bit by bit, you spread underground like a hidden spring, gathering force. At times, illusions whispered that unseen progress was pointless, but your watchers taught you otherwise. True transformation flourishes in private, free from external pressures. Each small triumph in your quiet sanctuary fortified your skills, proving you'd hone them with or without public applause. Meanwhile, solitude also sharpened your spiritual receptivity. You learned new ways to receive divine insight, untouched by mainstream skepticism. Though illusions mocked the legitimacy of gifts unproven in public, the watchers quietly promised your day of revealing would come. As a result, you advanced more rapidly than most. Chosen ones forced into visibility were shielded from rivalries, letting you explore your gifts without interference. The watchers took note of each hidden milestone, confident you were outgrowing the local realm's limitations. That's why a high-power contact was prompted to notice you. The watchers likely planted your name at precisely the right moment. Now the watchers see that your gifts stand firm without illusions. You, unswayed by shallow praise or manipulative flattery, that self-assurance readies you for a bigger stage where illusions grow more cunning. Freed from the need for the crowd's approval, you can handle total exposure with grounded confidence. When the impending shift arrives, perhaps relocation or a new opportunity, your secret practice becomes your strongest edge. The watchers intentionally time this unveiling so that your mastery, cultivated in silence, will dazzle skeptics and surpass any outdated expectations. Illusions once claiming you weren't skilled enough lose credibility in the face of your proven competence. From day one, you move forward with unstoppable synergy, revealing that this quiet cultivation was always part of the Watcher's plan to propel you into a realm you were destined to transform. Chapter 5. You freed yourself from the illusion of inconvenient timing. One of the biggest illusions hampering chosen ones is the idea of wrong timing. You might have insisted that with ongoing responsibilities or personal complications, you simply couldn't consider relocation or a major new path. Yet the Watchers had other plans, steadily nudging you toward a bigger destiny. Even under financial strain, family obligations, or unresolved emotions, they kept offering glimpses that there's no perfect moment aside from the one they ordain. At first, illusions rooted themselves in your responsibilities, whispering, "Wait until everything is stable." But that day never arrived, fueling your frustration. Then came the realization that Watchers seldom adhere to neat schedules. Often, they disrupt your routine exactly when you're busiest, because illusions thrive on stalling progress until the time is right. The Watchers, conversely, aim for breakthroughs. They tested you repeatedly with sudden opportunities and tight deadlines, moments you saw as inconvenient. Yet each time they provided resources or resilience. Gradually, you understood that if the Watchers say, "Go," you do so, regardless of illusions crying, "It's too soon." Through practice, you recognized unstoppable leaps often arrive amidst chaos. You adopted an inner stance of readiness. If the door cracked open, whether a quick trip, a remote workshop, or a surprise collaboration, you checked in with Watchers' guidance, not pure logistics. Illusions labeled this impractical, but you watched the Watchers turn bad timing into perfect alignment. Freed from that lie, you learned to say, "Yes," or "I'll adapt," showing you trust their orchestration above any fear of inconvenience. As tomorrow's cosmic pivot approaches, illusions about poor timing hold no power. If a high-power contact offers relocation, you know it's Watcher approved. You may have a lease or unfinished family business, but illusions can't trap you in the false security of waiting. You've seen time and again that when the Watchers open a door, they also handle details. Each new call to action only confirms your willingness to pivot. That readiness proves unstoppable waves won't be thwarted by illusions clinging to mere comfort. Ultimately, your Watchers have prepped you for exactly this. By stretching your capacity to adapt, they let you defeat illusions about not now. So if the call to relocate arrives abruptly, you won't falter. You trust that unstoppable forces disregard petty timing concerns, and you'll move forward without delay. Freed from illusions, you glimpse a grander plan unfolding, and you're unafraid to seize it, no matter how inconvenient illusions claim it to be. Chapter 6. You affirmed unity with the divine over external approval. A subtle yet pivotal test challenged your craving for outside validation. Once, you might have bowed to colleagues who mocked your spiritual views or quieted your revelations around skeptical relatives. But in your hidden exam, you broke that cycle. Each time you chose your Watcher's guidance over human approval, illusions lost another foothold. Illusions often showed up in daily compromises. Media, co-workers trivialized your beliefs, prompting you to downplay them for office harmony. Or a family member called chosen one talk ridiculous, so you feigned normalcy. Repeated microtests wore on you until you saw the ultimate sabotage, illusions convincing you to mute your mission for fleeting social comfort. Stepping beyond that, you let people misunderstand or scorn. You no longer prioritize their comfort over your higher calling. Each time, the Watchers noted that your divine alignment outranked any popularity contests. Yes, you paid a price. Relationships that tried, and your old compliance may have frayed. Illusions painted you as arrogant or accused you of holier-than-thou behavior. But you learned genuine humility from the Watchers, pairing firm conviction with compassion. Whenever guilt surfaced for disappointing someone, you reflected on your Watcher's perspective rather than caving to illusions. In time, your circle reshaped itself, leaving only those who respected or at least tolerated your path. From this, you gained a fresh liberty. Freed from illusions demanding you shrink to appease others, you revealed your watch messages more boldly. Coworkers or acquaintances' eye rolls no longer fazed you. Delusions might tempt you with fleeting acceptance again, but you see right through them. No longer tethered by social fear, Your unstoppable wave unfolds as the Watchers intended. Now, when a high-power opportunity emerges, puzzling or provoking your local circle, you won't hesitate. You won't plead, "What will my old friends think?" Because illusions around external validation have lost their grip. The Watchers trust you to heed only their signals. Freed from illusions, you understand. Unity with the divine overrides human approval. That certainty fuels your unstoppable momentum in higher realms. As tomorrow's cosmic shift aligns with your readiness, any urge to please naysayers dissolves. You stand ready to act on the Watcher's commands alone. Your unwavering loyalty ensures that petty rumors or disapproval can't derail your relocation. The Watchers tested and confirmed your devotion to cosmic truth. Free of illusions, you see the Watcher's vantage, not your limited social sphere. You surge forward unapologetically, spirit blazing with unstoppable force, poised for expansion far beyond old confines. Chapter 7. You embrace the relocation as your gateway to next-level impact. Now the Watchers see you wholly prepared. You no longer cling to illusions of needing local approval or the false security of overshadowed potential. Instead, you stand in the hush of final readiness. Each test behind you, the Watchers confirm, you are unstoppable, resilient enough for a bold relocation that redefines your influence. This high-power contact arrives not by random luck, but as the Watcher's orchestrated response to your silent prayers for an environment that magnifies your gifts. Conflicting feelings arise, excitement laced with the bittersweet sting of leaving familiar faces. Yet illusions urging you to stay for loyalty or fear can't survive. This shift surpasses personal comfort. It fulfills a cosmic design. The Watchers have chosen you to represent a new standard of authenticity in a place you've never set foot. They foresee your unstoppable wave forging alliances, uplifting souls who might otherwise remain stuck. Freed from illusions, you know your gifts weren't meant to be hidden. You go where they can truly bloom. Often, Watchers time relocations around cosmic alignments, like tomorrow's full moon, blood moon, multiplying your power to adapt. Perhaps you'll meet kindred spirits who instantly sense your unique light. A mentor or collaborator could appear, offering local connections. An entire community might welcome you, drawn to your authenticity. Old delusions may whisper, "What if you can't adapt?" But you silence them with your record of thriving amid uncertainty. Still, illusions sometimes flare when you're settled, tempting you to repeat old self-doubts. Your Watchers trust you to remember the hidden exam you passed. You disarm illusions by naming them, leaning on your Watchers and trusting your unstoppable wave. Yes, challenges may arise here, but they pale before the illusions you already overcame. This new arena won't be easy, yet synergy with your Watchers will outmatch any obstacle. Thus, you walk on with measured confidence. You honor the Watcher's plan. For tomorrow, an abrupt, unstoppable shift arrives, perhaps via a job contract, a special invitation, or direct funding for your move. If illusions claim it's too fast, too good, you recall their same old script. Freed from illusions, you trust the Watcher's meticulous roadmap. They cleared the paths so your unstoppable wave can at last break free. You embrace the relocation, not as escape, but as destiny fulfilled. Each time illusions threatened, the Watchers intervened. Tomorrow everything realigns and you seize the promise. They spotted your gift. A high-power contact wants to relocate you. Freed from illusions, you can't be derailed. Your unstoppable wave now enters a fresh realm that honors your brilliance, unveiling the next chapter of your mission.